Never having experienced the Touch Detective series before, this won't be a review that dives into its history, lore, or evolution over time. It will instead be the thoughts of a modern gamer who is a series novice. I share that because most of the crowing about this release that I've seen has been from people who are already fans, and there's no doubt that for others in the flock of the previously converted that feedback is essential. I instead see myself as the counterbalance, a voice for those who may be as intrigued or perhaps bewildered by this very quirky take on point-and-click adventures as I am. First and foremost, outside of the generally fuzzy visuals of these ports from the DS era, there's no doubt that these are not the sorts of adventures Western audiences are used to. Instead, there's just a very decidedly odd and often endearing quality to the mysteries you'll be working on, which are typically concerned with less serious material than your typical murders or other crimes. Then, just for good measure, you'll have your trusty companion Namiko the Mushroom along to help as well. The result is refreshingly different from the norm, but depending on what you're looking for, that could either be an asset or a liability. What will be less unfamiliar to people acquainted with classic point-and-click adventures is how aggravating they can be. If this series has a stumbling block, that would likely be the worst for modern gamers. While most adventures now have different methods of helping to either point out items of interest in the environment or outright offer you occasional guidance, here you'll periodically find yourself stuck and unable to progress because you can't figure out what you need to do. The fact that sometimes the object you'll need to find isn't even directly in the environment, but instead hidden with some other item, underlines this weakness, though thankfully that sort of thing only happens on occasion. The other shortcoming is that though every case has its own distinct elements and surprises, getting all three of these games at once can make it feel like a pile of more of the same, whereas if you enjoyed each individually separated by a long break, you could enjoy each title with more of a fresh start each time. Putting this all together, you have a mix of strengths and weaknesses, and the package's appeal will likely vary wildly depending on your tastes. If you're familiar with the typical weaknesses of the classic adventure style and can take them in stride, you'll be much more likely to enjoy the experience, without a doubt. Additionally, if you've grown tired of the typical focus of more Western sensibilities, focusing more often on harder and darker crimes rather than things that feel more whimsical and fun, you'll also be more likely to enjoy these titles that are thoroughly determined to do their own thing. There may be some obstacles to pure enjoyment here, showing that these were games of their time, but their unique flavor makes a fair case for giving them a look. Overall, my final score for the game ended up being a 7.9. And if you're interested in picking it up, it's currently available on the Switch eShop for $39.99. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this review. And if you'd like more information or ideas of indie games worth checking out on Switch, be sure to click on the link provided in the description. Until next time.